channel. So today I'm going to be doing the Jaclyn Hill ride or die tag video, and I'm going to be doing it a little bit differently. I saw some other YouTubers doing it like this. Basically, I'm going to be doing a tutorial using only my ride or die products. I'm going to do this look. This was on my Instagram like a few weeks ago and I got a ton of requests to film it. So yeah, this is the look that I'm going to be doing today. So basically, I'm just going to be giving you guys my reviews on all the products as I use them. So I'll show you guys how I use them, tell you guys a little bit more about them, and yeah, let's jump right in. So my Holy Grail Ride or Die Primer. If I had to pick one primer to use for the rest of my life, it would be this one. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. I've tried so many primers, but this one I just always go back to. It's like my go-to primer. It's just so easy. Like, you just spritz it on your face. It's really hydrating. It gives you like a tacky finish for the foundation to lock into so your makeup lasts really long. So easy, so simple, and it really locks your makeup in place. I've gone through 2 bottles of this. This is my 3rd bottle, so that kind of speaks for itself. But yeah, I'm just gonna spritz this on my face. Okay, so next, once that primer soaks into the skin, my Holy Grail foundations, I could not pick just one because I mix these two together. These two work so much better together. They're both separately like my ride or dies, but together they're just amazing. Holy Grail, ride or die, I could wear these foundations every day. They work perfectly for my skin type. These both provide things that the other one doesn't have. So for example, this one has a nice healthy dewy finish, and it's also a better shade match for me. And this one makes the foundation last longer and adds extra coverage. Love using them mixed together, ride or die. So yeah, I basically just mix equal parts. I get a lot of questions on what shade I use. This is Classic Ivory, and I mix it in with N10 from the Cover FX. The Cover FX is a little bit too light, and the Maybelline Fit Me is a little bit too dark, so I mix them together to get that perfect color. So then I just take it, dot it on the face, nothing special. Once it's all dotted onto the face, I take my beauty blender, bounce it into the skin. Okay, so once that's all blended into the face, you can just see it has a really dewy finish, which is what I like. But then I always powder it up so it's not like wet looking. Next, for concealer, I'm sure you guys can guess this concealer because I use it in every single video. This is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. I've gone through, no joke, like 5 tubes of this. This is already running out, so I'm gonna be like scraping at the edges for this video. It's like medium to full. It doesn't emphasize dry patches, provides good coverage, doesn't cake up. It has a really brightening, dewy appearance. The only thing that I have to complain about it is the shade range. Again, I feel like drugstore brands never have like a light enough shade or a dark enough shade. Honey, don't get me fucking started. But yeah, the shade range needs to be fixed. This shade is fair and it doesn't really highlight my face at all. Lately I've been mixing it in with the Kat Von D White Concealer to give me that highlighted effect. This still gives me like a natural highlighted effect, but nothing like dramatic that I want. But I would still use it every day of the week because it's my favorite concealer. Yeah, I'm just gonna put this on and try to get as much product out of this tube as I can. Also, I use this for so many different purposes, not only just under the eyes. I use it to spot conceal, which it works really nicely for. I use it under the eyes, of course. I use it to clean up my brows, and I use it to prime my eyelids, which is probably why I run out of it so quickly. And I use the Beauty Blender to blend it in. It also blends really easily and it doesn't dry that quickly, so you can take your time blending it out. Okay, so my next ride or die product is powder. So my Holy Grail is, I'm sure you guys could guess already, the Airspun Loose Translucent Powder. This is my favorite powder because it sets the makeup so well. You'll stay matte, but it doesn't emphasize dry patches. It works really nicely for combination skin. Okay, the thing that I've noticed about this powder is it almost has like a velvety smoothing appearance. Like when I apply it, my skin just looks so smooth and soft and velvety. That's the effect that I love about this powder. This is what makes it my Holy Grail. It makes my skin look so smooth, like a velvety matte finish. It doesn't make me look like cakey or anything. It's just the perfect setting powder. Highly recommend it, and it's from the drugstore, so it's a really cheap price. I used to love the Laura Mercier one, but this one has topped it for sure. Plus, it's like 1/4 of the price, so definitely go check this out if you haven't already. It's incredible. And I'm just gonna bake using my Beauty Blender sponge. First, I'm going to pat away any of my creases because this concealer creases pretty quickly. So you just want to blend it in before you set anything, and then dip into the powder and set. Oh great, it got on my shirt already. Wonderful. So I only keep this on for less than a minute. I don't like keeping it on for too long because then my skin kind of dries up. So right now I'm basically just pushing it into my skin with the Beauty Blender. Okay, so now for my Holy Grail face powder. I have two different ones. This is my Holy Grail translucent powder, but I have another Holy Grail for my overall facial setting powder, like powder foundation basically. This is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Powder Foundation Compact. I recently picked up a shade lighter because the shade that I got because it was a Sephora VIB Rouge sale and that was the only shade they had, so I just bought it. I had the shade 4, that's what I used to use. Oh shit, yeah, I used to use the shade 4 and I used it on the outer perimeter of my face, basically just to bronze. If you watch my videos, you would have seen me do that probably like a million times, but now I've been using this one. This is the shade number 2, which is a perfect match for my skin. But yeah, basically what I love about this powder, it has like a medium to light coverage, so it's not super heavy, it's not super creepy looking. It adds a nice amount of extra coverage. So if you have kind of like acne peeking through, like I'm sure you can see a little bit of spots coming through my foundation right now, this basically covers that up afterwards. It's not a super full coverage powder foundation. It has like I said, light to medium, so it's perfect for just setting the rest of your face to get a little bit of extra coverage. I like a luminous finish, and this is perfect because it still sets your makeup so that it lasts long, but it gives you that luminous finish. I like using a really dense brush. This is a Morphe E6 brush. I like using this for my powder foundation because it's really dense, so I'll get basically the most out of my product. I always push into the face. You don't want to go rubbing because that'll move the foundation and make your foundation look patchy. Always pat your powder in. Okay, so moving on for bronzer, my Holy Grail bronzer. This was definitely a hard choice because I have never really found like that one bronzer that I just loved. I could use every day because being like super pale, it's hard to find a good bronzer that doesn't look too warm or too cool or too dark. But I think I found my new ride or die, and this is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and I've been loving this lately. It has the right amount of pigmentation. It's not crazy pigmented, which you don't really want in a bronzer. If you have a crazy pigmented bronzer, it'll look kind of muddy, kind of patchy, so this is like the perfect pigmentation. It was definitely hard picking out my Holy Grail bronzer because I'm always trying out new ones, because I feel like even though this one is my favorite out of all the bronzers I've tried, I feel like it's still not that like ride or die bronzer, you know what I mean? So I'm still on the hunt, but for now this has been my go-to ride or die bronzer. So I think I'm gonna use this one. This is a Sigma Large Angle Contour F40 brush. Yeah, all my other brushes are wet, so I'm gonna use this. I do have a code for Sigma as well. My code is TINA for 10% off Sigma. And yeah, I'm just gonna use this to apply my bronzer. I've never used this for bronzer, so we'll see how it looks. Okay, now for my Holy Grail contour. I don't contour that often, but when I do, this is the contour kit that I always go to. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Powder Contour Kit. This has been raved about like crazy for good reason. Mine is in light, and the shades that I use the most, I'm sure you can kind of tell, but I use this shade right here. This is called Fawn, and this one right here, this is the banana shade. I use these two the most. Fawn is just my perfect contour shade. It looks really natural on my skin, like you'll see in a second when I apply it. So I'm using this Fawn shade with a Morphe M523 brush to contour. It just makes your contour look so natural. Perfect amount of pigmentation, really smooth and buttery, and I love this contour kit. If I had to pick one for the rest of my life to use, it would definitely be this. Okay, now for the Holy Grail highlighter. This is the Anastasia Glow Kit in Gleam. This is my go-to highlighter. I mean, it's kind of cheating because it has 4 highlighters, but if I had to pick one out of these that I love the most, it's definitely going to be Crushed Pearl. Perfect for fair skin tones. It's just my favorite highlighter. But yeah, Crushed Pearl is definitely my favorite shade, and I'm using a Morphe M310 brush. It's just such a pretty highlighter if you're fair. Okay, my Holy Grail blush is Milani Luminoso. This is just my perfect blush shade. It's a peachy blush with a sheen to it, so it just looks really nice on the skin. I'm not the biggest blush person, but when I do wear blush on a daily basis, this is the one that I always go to. Plus it's drugstore, so I'm just gonna use that Sigma Large Angle Contour F40. So basically, these are all my go-to face products. I know when I use these products that they'll never fail me. They just always work out. So these are all my Holy Grail face products. Okay, so now let's move on to the eyes. And I'm first just going to prime using my Maybelline Fit Me. I guess you could say this is also another ride or die. This is just what I use every day to prime my eyes. I used to love MAC Soft Ochre, but I found that it was kind of drying. So using a concealer is just the easiest way to go for me. Plus this one's amazing. So this is my favorite way to prime my eyes. And you also always want to make sure that you set your eye base. Okay, so now for eyeshadows, this was definitely the hardest. Eyeshadows are like my favorite part of makeup, and it's so hard to pick just one palette. My Holy Grail eyeshadow palette, I'm sure you guys already know, is the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. This is my ride or die. I've used it, I'm pretty sure, in 5 videos. All these colors are right up my alley. You've got your fair share of like orangey colors with some berry tones. And all the colors are formulated perfectly. Everything's really pigmented. Everything's really buttery. The only thing about it is that it does have some kickback, but in my opinion, kickback is a good thing because it just tells you that the eyeshadows are really pigmented. So all you have to do, if you get some kickback on your brush, just tap off the excess and then it's fine. But kickback is basically just the downside of having really pigmented buttery eyeshadows, which is what all of these are. There's so many looks you can create with this palette. I have tons back in my videos, so if you want to see some other tutorials, go check those out. I have tons on my channel using this palette because it's my favorite palette. Also, the packaging is like my aesthetic. Are you kidding me? Like, it's so pretty cute. It has the rose gold lettering with the pink suede, and it's just, I love this packaging. First shade I'm going to go in with is Burnt Orange, which is right here. And I'm going to apply that using a Sigma E40 blending brush. This has been my go-to brush lately for my first colors in the crease. Blending brush also gets the job done really quickly, but in general, these eyeshadows are really blendable. Okay, so once that's all evenly blended into the crease, we're going to go with our next shade. And the next shade I'm going to use is Real Gar, I don't know how to pronounce it, but so this is just going to go into my crease with a Sigma E25 brush. Okay, now to add even more definition, I'm going to go in with an even warmer color. So I'm going to go with the shade Red Ochre, and I'm going to run that on this outer edge. Basically just to intensify this outer corner and really get that smoky effect. And just take it on the lower lash line too. Now that the eyeshadow's done, we're going to move on to eyeliner, and my Holy Grail eyeliner is this one. This is actually kind of new to me, but it's topped every eyeliner that I've used in the past. This is the Sigma Line Ace eyeliner. I'm sure you guys have heard so many things about it. This is by far the blackest eyeliner that I've ever used. Super easy to glide onto the eyes. It doesn't apply streaky. It's really, really black, and it dries really matte. Okay, so now to sharpen up my eyeliner, I like to use some concealer and a flat definer brush. The one that works the best for me is the Sigma E15 brush, and I always do this with my eyeliner. I just use a little bit of concealer to sharpen up this outer edge. So now we're going to smoke out the lower lash line, and I'm going to use the shade Cypress Umber, which is this deep brown, and smoke that out on the lower lash. Okay, now for lashes, I'm going to be using a different pair than the pair that I wore in the photos. I have started wearing these lashes recently. These are the Lily lashes in Miami. I love these. They're kind of like the same effect of the Cocoa lashes in Queen Bee, which I also have. These are definitely also another ride or die, but these have topped it. Over the past like month or two, I have been reaching for these so much more often than I do the Queen Bees, but these are also another favorite. I just love the effect these give. They open up your eyes and give that very wispy, like big eye effect, which I love. They're really piecey, and they're also really fluffy. The fluffy part is the kind of advantage that it has over the Cocoa lashes, because the Cocoa lashes are a little bit more wispy than fluffy. So I love a fluffy lash, and these ones have been my go-tos. Also, this one pair I have worn 15-20 times already, and they're still going strong. But yeah, these lashes last really long. You can get a lot of use out of them. I know they're a bit pricey, but just reuse them, maintain them properly, and you'll get your money's worth. Okay, so the lashes are on, and you can just see these lashes are so pretty. Next Ride or Die product is MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash Mascara. This is my favorite mascara. It's really lengthening. I love it for the lower lashes, and it's just a really good mascara. I feel like mascara is kind of like basic. There's not really much to say about them. So this has been my go-to Ride or Die for a while now. Lips is definitely one of the hardest to pick, but my Ride or Die lipstick has to be Anastasia Stripped. This is my favorite nude. I feel like I always reach for it for lips. I kind of have to like stop myself because I use it in so many tutorials, so I always have to stop myself. But I love this lipstick. It's the perfect nude. This is a beigey nude, and it's not too dark, it's not too brown. It has a little bit of a peach in it, but it is mainly a beige nude. But my second favorite nude, I just have to tell you guys because like I don't want you guys missing out on another good nude. So my second favorite nude is the Ofra Sao Paulo liquid lipstick. I'm going to show you guys it side by side so you guys can sort of tell which one you like best. The Ofra one is a little bit lighter and it has a little bit more peach to it. They are pretty similar because they are both nudes. This one is the Ofra and this is the Anastasia. So pretty, they're very similar. The Ofra one is a little bit lighter and I feel like it almost has a little bit more of a cool tone to it. While this one is a little bit more pinky peachy, this one has a little bit of a cooler tone to it. Favorite nudes are really similar, which is why I love them both. But yeah, these are my favorite nudes, so go check them out. If you're really pale, these are going to be really flattering on you. Okay, so this is the completed look. I hope you guys found this video helpful, and let me know if you guys decide to check out any of these products. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I love this look. I hope you guys like it as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe and like this video if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.